Welcome back. Thank you. Joe Joyner's still with me. Now, my next guest has won 3 Olivier Awards. She played Cleopatra, Rigsby's Lodger, a seductive giantess. She stormed the West End and Broadway with the History Boys. The list is endless. In fact, if I was to go on, we'd run into the news, really. She's back on the box as the man-eating violet alongside Sir Ian McKellen and Sir Derek Jacobi. Will you please raise the roof for the one and only Frances de la Tour? Let me hear you. Frances, welcome.
Oh, bless you.
I've waited years to snare you on my sofa. Do you know what? If I was saying to this to you earlier, if somebody says to me, Frances de la Tour, what do you associate her with? I'd say a play I saw in 1980 at the Bush Theatre called Duet for One, about the violinist with MS. Heartbreaking.
Wasn't it?
Wasn't it just?
It was a play that my ex-husband wrote for me, and we're still very close. And it meant so much to him and to me. And I'm just so pleased that you saw it.
Oh, it was wonderful. And that went on to the West End, didn't it?
It did. We did it for about 11 months.
Yeah, you won the Olivier.
Yeah.
And well-deserved as well.
Bless you.
Oh, sobbing like a fool, honestly.
It was very serious.
Oh, it was very serious and moving. It was just...
In fact, I had many letters from people who suffered from multiple sclerosis.
Yeah.
And, of course, I didn't know anything about that, really. I was doing the play, she was a violinist, and I couldn't concentrate too much on the illness. It just had to be present in the way that it was written. But it was... it meant a lot, I think, to a lot of people, because actually it could have been about anybody who was suffering and didn't know how to go forward.
Yeah.
And what do they do? Do they end their life, or do they, you know, hold on to it? So, which is really what it was about.
Yeah, no, it was wonderful. I'll never forget that. Now, Vicious is back.
Yeah.
But it's not really vicious, is it?
No, I mean, they're so awful to each other.
They're hideous. I mean, Ian McKellen said they wanted to call it Vicious Old Queens, and Ian said, I'm having none of that, darling.
No, he wouldn't have that.
No, he wouldn't have it, would he?
And they were actually... You see, they love each other.
Yeah.
This is the fun... The men love each other, clearly. It's a serious relationship. And they love Violet, even though that she's... they just have a go at her all the time.
Oh, that honourable Sir Violet.
And I think it's because they need each other, and they're all... You know, it's not just a camp thing, which we got criticised a bit in England for being a bit like Are You Being Served, which anyway was very funny. But it isn't that. These are older men.
Yeah.
And, in fact, all of them are old in it. Yeah. And so it's about age as well, and friendship.
Even the dog's old, isn't it?
And the dog is ancient.
Yeah.
So it's about that as well.
Yeah.
And... beautifully written, I think, and very clever, because the guy is... Gary Giannetti is a wonderful writer, but he wrote Will and Grace and
Family Guy.
Family Guy, which I completely love.
Now, I think they're jealous, you see, of Violet, because she has, she has quite a lively sex life, doesn't she?
She has a... Yes. I was a bit concerned at first.
She's a man-eater, Violet.
Because of my age now, because I'm 70 now, and... oh, bless you, don't I? I need a few things done, but never mind.
You don't.
But when they said, you know, that she's so interested and wants to go to bed with a very young man, I found that quite difficult. So in my storyline in my head, she doesn't.
Yeah.
But then she may.
Yeah.
So it leaves it all a bit open. No, she's a naughty girl.
No, good for her.
But she's game.
Exactly.
She's game.
She's not sat at home watching daytime telly, counting her tablets, is she? No, she's over in Spain or somewhere filling her boots.
They're different men all the time.
Exactly. No, good for her.
I like the scene when she was wearing her black leather.
That's right. You know, she's got the outfits for every occasion.
I had to put my leg up and I had all these boots on, and I thought, I can't even get my leg up now.
How did Kathy Gale manage? Look, we've got a clip here, Frances. Let's have a look, please. A Violet in action.
Hello, Ash! Can I tell Ash?
I think maybe I'd like...
Violet's husband has left her.
I'm sorry, Violet.
He didn't leave me. He just seems to have stepped out for a few weeks. I'm sure he'll turn up soon, and then we'll all laugh about it.
You hold on to that thought, dear.
Gosh, now I feel bad about coming round to talk about my new girlfriend.
You should.
Of course not, Ash. I'm very happy for you.
Thanks, Violet.
I only hope she's able to satisfy you. Because if she's not able to satisfy you...
She is. She totally is.
Good. How exactly?
The History Boys was a big turning point for you, wasn't it?
It was. I'd always wanted to do an Alan Bennett play, and I never had, and then the script arrived. I was so pleased. And it was wonderful for the boys. They were young actors. There were 8 sort of 23, 25-year-old actors. For some of them, it was their first job. And they didn't know much about history. And it was a history lesson for them. There were lots of books in the rehearsal room for them to learn about the First World War. One of them said, oh, they didn't know there had been a First World War.
No, really?
That was Russell. He said,
Russell Tovey.
Yes, Russell Tovey. We said, well, we've had World War II. There must have been a World War I. He went, oh, I hadn't thought about that. No.
You know, Russell Tovey said it was the best kiss he'd ever had.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
That was in the wings.
That was in the dressing room.
That was in the dressing room, yes.
And you're filming another Alan Bennett vehicle, which suits The Lady in the Van. Now, I saw the play with Maggie Smith. It's fab. That would only happen to Alan Bennett. An old lady would park her van in his driveway.
You know, I went to visit him in the 80s, and the van was there.
Yeah.
And the smell.
I can imagine living in a van.
Because, you know, she didn't... I don't know how she lived, but she lived in that van. She didn't go use the bathroom. She must have just sort of gathered all her stuff and taken it somewhere.
She had what's called a barmaid's wash.
Yes, a barmaid's wash. And she was... It was extraordinary that she came for about a few weeks and she was there for 16 years or something.
And they became friends in the end, didn't they?
She was actually a very educated woman who could play the piano beautifully, but she obviously just sort of escaped from life.
Just had enough.
And that had enough,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, no, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Absolutely looking forward to it. Francis, it's the last week.
Oh, look at
I've
that.
said this to Joe. Is that Joe's already earmarked the poodle lamp?
Oh, yeah.
That's for our boudoir.
I may have the other lamp.
Oh, OK. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
all
fine.
right, because that looks a bit kind of retro.
Yeah, very Art Deco.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
There you go. So that's 2 lamps gone. Any of you lot like anything?
Yes.
It's off. You're not getting nothing. There you go. You're getting tea bags. Francis, it's lovely to see you.
Thank
it really
you
is.
so much.
And thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, my
And don't
pleasure.
forget, folks, Vicious is here on ITV from Monday, the 1st of June at 9 p.m. Please give it up for this lovely lady, Francis Delator. You okay? We're going over the hypnosis area now. Yeah. Now, Francis, she may be well used to magic with Harry Potter, but we have got a trick for you. Now, last time I saw my next guest,